You're not on the field, court, or ice. CWall. You're on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Coaching from the Couch. You are live here with the 87 TV network family, the CWall family. We are all in the building. And I'm smiling now because we're going to start the show off on the right foot. We're going to start off right. And I'm smiling for right now. You guys, listen. I haven't said this in a while, I think. I feel like I haven't said what I'm about to say in a very long time. And that is, when is there a dull moment in DC sports? And the answer to that is what? Never. Absolutely never. Because even in our happiness, we have sorrow. But listen, you guys, I'm just so excited to be here with you guys this Thursday, and we're going to have some fun like we always do. So please make sure you are sharing the show with your DC sports loving family and friends, because we want to join the show live so we can catch everybody's comments and just overall have some fun. We got, as always, the queen, my mother. She's always on the show, always online. I got Eric Jessup, as always. Welcome, you guys. We just appreciate y'all joining us here every single week. It's awesome that you all are here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I wasn't sure, normally maybe for the past couple months, I might start off with Bowie State. You all know I got to get to the Bowie State Bulldogs. I'm going to get to them. But really quick, I have a Nats update. So first and foremost, I'm sure by now everyone has heard that our guy Gerardo Pera has now signed with the Japan Giants, I believe it is. I believe he has signed with the Japanese club. And so for those who don't know, Gerardo Pera is the I guess we can say mastermind player, whomever, behind the Baby Shark theme song. And he was when he first got to the Nats, he was doing an amazing job, and then he hit a slump, and then he changed his song to the Baby Shark song. For whomever may not know the backstory of how Baby Shark became the Nats kind of theme song. So I asked, to some people, I said, well, does this mean we got to get rid of the song because he's gone? Because I feel like that song is a part of the legacy now, and it's our song. So I don't know, but perhaps it's not our song, but wish him nothing but the best. And of course, he's going to be a part of this history with the Nats because of Baby Shark, and he's a member of the team. And so I'm sure he will do great and wonderful things with his new team. So wishing him nothing but the best. Also want to share that on December 2nd, listen up, Nats fans, December 2nd, the Major League Baseball and the Nats are premiering a documentary that's detailing this entire just amazing 2019 World Series run. It is actually going to be down right here at the Wharf at the Anthem, December 2nd. So Ryan Zimmerman is supposed to be attending, Mike Rizzo, members of the Lerner family. It's supposed to be a huge celebration. It starts at 7, and it is presented by Budweiser. So, Budweiser bad. I always laugh about that. I'm like, listen, Budweiser is where it's at apparently, because definitely to me it's kind of like, listen, every time you see somebody with a Budweiser, I'm never going to forget that Nats game now. So, moving right on along, you guys. Moving right on along. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into, I see Arias's comment off the break. I see his comment about BSU. We're going to jump right on into that. Listen, you guys, I had the pleasure of going down to the CIAA football championship last weekend in Salem, Virginia. And before I jump into the game atmosphere and just overall, I want to shout out the CIAA. The CIAA were just extremely hospitable. They were just so nice to me. That was my first time covering the CIAA football championship, and they were really super cool, just great, embraced the CWall family into the CIAA football family. And so for that, I have to shout them out on the show for real. So thank you to the CIAA family. And so now let me talk about Bowie State. Bowie State University football team, back-to-back CIAA champions. Listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. For a moment there, I got a little nervous. Of course, Bowie State started out strong against Fayetteville State. But Fayetteville State did not let up. Let's be very clear about something. They didn't let up. I do feel bad because the Fayetteville State coach, I believe this was his third time going to the championship and losing. That's gotta hurt. But I'm going to tell you something. That team they had all fight in them the entire time. Super duper shout out to Fayetteville State. But Bowie State they did what they do best. And they showed up. They definitely showed up, and they didn't let up. Like I said, it got a little testy there for a minute. I got some notes here. But they pulled it out. They did what they needed to do, because I know I got nervous. So now they've improved to 11-0. Big time deal that needs to be shared and discussed is that they are 11-0. Okay? So that's huge. They are still ranked third in the D2 Super Region 2 rankings, and it's just awesome. They have a home playoff game this Saturday in Bowie, Maryland. Bowie State University football is playing in the first round of the D2 football playoffs this weekend, 1 o'clock. They're playing Carson Newman University. So if you all are free, that's a football game you should go to. And I said it loud like that on purpose, okay? That is a football game you should absolutely attend and go and enjoy and have fun. Great energy. As I say every week, huge shout out to Coach Damon Wilson and his entire coaching staff. Kudos to the gentlemen that are playing on that team. Kudos to their entire village for supporting that effort. The Bowie State University family showed up last weekend too in Salem, Virginia. Let me just go ahead and shout you all out as well. The tailgate was on point. And so I enjoyed myself a great deal. So you guys, this Saturday, 1 o'clock, that's Saturday, November 23rd, Bowie State University football. Go out there and check it out. I think you all will definitely enjoy it. And of course, because it's the home team, they need the support. They absolutely need the support. And, that's what we should do. Go down there. If you're not busy, go ahead and go down there. And then, of course, as always, the tailgates are popping. You see, I done plugged that twice for y'all. I done plugged the tailgates 2 times for you guys. Moving on to Maryland basketball. The Terps, Maryland basketball, they're 4-0 right now. They're 4-0. It's still early, beginning of the season, but now they've moved up in the rankings. They're now ranked 6th. So shout out to them. Want to shout out Anthony Cohen Jr., who is now 3rd player in Maryland history to reach the milestone of 1,400 points, 450 assists. So we got to shout him out. That is a huge accomplishment. That is a huge, huge accomplishment. So just a couple of notes and just things that I noticed from their game the other night. This team, while I don't necessarily think that this is maybe the most talented team per se, there's certainly they got a lot of depth in this Terps team, and I like them. I like them genuinely. Like, I think they're good, and I think they play very, very well together. Essentially, it's the team from last year. They only have a couple of new pieces. So, again, still early in the season, but if you're 4-0, that deserves some airtime on Coaching from the Couch. We got to talk about that a bit. Free throw percentage the other night was a little suspect, but that's okay. But I mean, I always look at free throw shooting as an opportunity. Somebody find you get opportunity to get 2 free points, and hey, why not? So the percentage was a little up and down, but overall, we'll continue to see how it progresses. But I think they're going to live up to the hype. I think so. I don't know what you all think. Chime in below if you think that the Maryland Terps are going to definitely live up to the hype. We'll see. I'm always hopeful in the beginning. As Eric just says here, it's way early. And my guy Mark, my brother Mark says, Turtle Power. Hey, listen, we got to try to be hopeful around here because the Maryland football team didn't give us nothing. So we got to have something, and Maryland basketball might give us that. I mean, it's not like they haven't given us anything. They gave us something last year. So I anticipate them building on that. So we'll see what happens, you guys. I'm excited. I'm certainly excited. Mark is online. Mark, are you still here with us? I hope so, because we got to talk about our Washington Capitals here, brother. What in the world? Monday night, all of that fighting. Hey, listen, now, first of all, let me be clear about something before I get into this. I am one that will always say, the Goon Squad official. You'll hear me say that or post about it. The Goon Squad is in the building. That was some old Goon Squad officially official on Monday. I said, what happened to them? Completely lost it. And the Caps still scored during the fight. So other people, they fighting, and the Caps still scoring. So that shows they have focus. That's good. That shows the team can multitask. They did not completely forget about the game. But there were a total of 11 penalties to 5 different players. I have to mention this in fairness, and just the type of person that I am. While I absolutely love, the Caps and am excited for them, it did bother me that one of the players, Garnett Hathaway, he spit on one of the Anaheim players. And I'm like, okay. Now, of course, he absolutely regrets it and says it was an emotional moment. Absolutely regrets what happens. But, that made me uneasy. I didn't like that. That was a little suspect. Wasn't too sure about that. I don't know if my guy Mark is a huge Caps fan. So I don't know, guys. But that spitting, we got to watch that. Because that's not good. But, hey. Oh, well. I mean, I hate to say oh, well like that, but, things do happen during the game. But, hey, we gotta watch that, you guys. I wasn't too keen on that one. But he has since been suspended. I think he's been suspended for 3 games, and he has to forfeit about $24,000 of his salary. But to no surprise, he was going to get suspended. I thought perhaps longer than he was, but hey, we'll see what happens. But just had to bring them up really quick because it's still, again, and these seasons is so early, but I had to bring that up. Moving on to the Washington Wizards. So the Wizards last night were victorious over the San Antonio Spurs, 138 to 132. And let me tell you something, for a moment there toward the end, check in online and in the comments below if you were watching that game and toward the end you said to yourself, I know these Wizards not about to turn around and lose this game. Because it looked like they were about to give it away, because we know they don't do what? What do they not do? Play any defense. So they were doing all right, but then we went back to same old for a split second. But the point is, they got the job done. They did come up with a W against a San Antonio Spurs team that is coached by some of the greatest in coaching. So that is something that we should all be very happy about. And it's a good thing. The thing about it is, and here's what we've been saying, the Wizards can score. The Wizards can score. They're extremely efficient. I think they're like third right now to be safe. Let's just say top 5, but I think it's third, right? But hey, they can score. That's not the issue. They don't play any defense, you guys. They don't play any defense. Now, you see, in some moments where they play a little bit of defense, they end up winning, or at least coming close to it, right? But like I said last week, and like I told everybody, Bradley Beal is going to have to be 30, 35 plus points for them to even be competitive. And another thing that took them over the edge last night, I believe, is just the play from the supporting cast. The supporting cast has to show up. Absolutely has to. So last night, and I don't want to say his name wrong, Davis Bertans. Let me tell you something. My father loves Davis, okay? And he was on the Spurs. So he's facing his old team again. Because I believe that the Wizards have now played the Spurs twice. I think that series is over now. And he can go. Davis can go. He can shoot. He's very efficient. I like him a lot. And then we saw Ish Smith do what they brought him here to do. And I think sometimes the Wizards surprise people, myself included, just being real, because they got 10 new people on the team. We don't know these people. So let's just be real. So you still trying to get to know them. But when they're playing together, and again, Brad has to be that leader, and he has to control the tempo and control the game in order to get the rest of the guys going. Once that happens, they can see some good stuff. I think my guy Terrence Brooks said earlier in a post that he projected the Wizards going to the playoffs. Now, I didn't project that at all, just being very fair. But based on what I'm seeing from a shooting perspective and the efficiency offensively, hey, listen, if they can couple that with some defense and some consistency, hey, anything could happen. Absolutely anything could happen. Because we've seen certain players perform. We've seen, even Mo Wagner. We've seen him do some things. We've seen CJ Miles do some things. Now we've seen Ish Smith, again, Bertans. We've seen some folks show up. So anything is possible. I want them all to show up at the same time. Can we get that going? Can we get some consistency on that? For real. Because we know that Brad is going to show up. And Brad is having a tremendous season. Tremendous. Not that there was any doubt that he wouldn't, but he cannot do this by himself. But he absolutely has to own every night that leadership role, which I believe he can do. I'm not second guessing that at all. I absolutely believe that he can truly own that role and be excited about it and get the guys excited about it, because we saw it. So let's see what else happens. because I honestly don't know. I'm just looking. Every game, I'm waiting to see what else I pick up, what other nuggets I'm picking up. And I'm just like, man, if these guys can play some defense and get into the groove with Brad, they can get some of this going. Troy Brown Jr., he was guarding DeMar DeRozan for a bit last night in the game, and I think he did okay. You know, it absolutely has a lot of work to do. They all do. I always want people to get better. You know, never at a place where it's like, okay, they have arrived. But Troy Brown Jr., I think, is growing into his role, and he's looking a lot better, and he's looking good. So we'll just see what happens. Historically, at least in recent years, it takes the Wizards a while to warm up anyway. Is it me? I feel like I remember it takes the Wizards a while to get with it, it seems like. And so I think that's still evident. And I'm not certain if that's a symptom, for lack of a better term, of how Scott Brooks coaches. I'm not sure. But it takes the Wizards a while to get warmed up. We've seen this happen before. And like I shared with you all last week, I really don't start panicking or getting extremely excited when it comes to basketball season until about December. Around December is when I'm like, all right, we cooking with Crisco. Let's do it. Or, all right, that's it. See y'all next season. That's it. That's it for that. I mean, hey, listen, I have to throw a drag in there every once in a while because drags keep you humble. That's the whole thing. And with that being said, thank you for saying the word drag. Joy. I was doing fine. I was going to keep going. I was going to skip your people. Don't do it. But as promised, it's Redskins time. Let me see if I can find something nice to say before I really get going. Okay? And drop some comments below if you have something nice to say before I really get going. I'm gonna give you a minute to find something nice to say. Let's start off with the positive notes first. I have one. Let me pull it up because I lost it that fast. I completely lost it that fast. One. Adrian Peterson is a finalist in the NFL Top 100 running backs. So I believe tomorrow they announce who the all-time running back team is. It's going to be 12. I sure hope he makes that list, y'all. I sure hope. I mean, everybody on the list is more than deserving, in my opinion, but we need something. Please. Put AP on there while he's in the burgundy and gold. Please put him on the list. But the fact that he's a finalist, top 100, he's on the list for the top 100 running backs of all time. And that in itself is just tremendous and amazing. So I'm excited about that. But if he gets on that top 12 list, the all running back team, I will be happy. I'll be like, yes, something. That was my positive comment. So does anyone else have anything else to say? Yes, Eric, we talked about that a bit last week at the end of the show, that they were nice enough. They did show up for Colin Kaepernick, and just being in all fairness and just being real, they were legit looking at Cap. They are interested. They have been interested. And so we're legit there. And as you know, my girl Rhonda Rowe, as she said, the colors look very good on the field. Still, that burgundy and gold is nice. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm telling you guys, when you can't help it. When you go out there, you still see the guys come out on the field and they on fire. You like, oh man, this is going to be great. This is going to be good. And they got the burgundy and gold on. You get excited, and then, reality hits, and then that be the end of that. So we have, that's all we got. All right. And that's fine. As everyone knows, the Redskins game this weekend is about $4. It's $4. Okay. So I asked the question, and this is it. I don't even know if this is a drag yet, but in having fun, I asked, name some things that cost more than the Redskins game. And we've come up with a list of our favorite things. First, check in if you hear your name called. Because we had to laugh at your comment. Listen, Tyra Shawn says, Fabuloso from Dollar Tree costs more than the Redskins ticket. Ron Blackwell said a pack of Newports in a box. We got quite a few of those comments back. Indrid Elmore said school pitches cost more than the Redskins tickets. I didn't know nothing. I learned something on that one. Monica Bellinger said her lace front costs more. I'm glad it does, because lace fronts, that's good, because lace fronts are expensive. The good ones, yeah. So look, Sherrod. I said, Sherrod is the CWall Redskins writer, y'all. I said it would take Sherrod to have an old complicated answer that was still funny. Like, what? A bag of those blue raspberry blow pops people used to say would give you cancer back in the day. What? Joy knew what it was. I was like, I don't know what he's talking about, but it's hilarious. Ebony Nick said bacon. Bacon is expensive. Bacon has gotten high. Raquel McCrae said parking at the stadium is more than the ticket. And I think that's backwards. I've said for a very long time, parking needs to be free. And that old gravel lot, that parking needs to be free. Come on, man. Oops, I rolled my eyes on camera. So my bad. John Adams said a 4 for $4 at Wendy's. Yeah, when you add the tax and everything else, that is.
John's supposed to be a die already.
Listen, I asked a fair question, and he just gave an answer. Ron Blackwell, I have him up here twice only because he said the pickle jars, the pickles in the jar, girl used to get from 7-Eleven at Highs. Wait a minute, Ron. Highs? Why are you telling people how old you are, sir? Dated yourself with that one, but it was funny because I do know what Highs is. But anyway. Brian Cox, a Disney Plus membership costs more. Our guy Dervin Gray, the Metro, costs more. Eris, are you still on here? Are you still with us? A DVD of those African soap operas they sell behind the counter at the store. What? Our guy Mazdak said the fee on eBay to sell his tickets costs more than the ticket. I got Leon said his son's JV football games were $6. So if it's $6, that means it costs more. And my girl Kim Perry, a gallon of gas. Listen, that's the list. Is no lies detected, as Rhonda Rowe just said. No lies detected at all. Thank you for participating in that exercise, everybody. Listen, I asked another question, and it was, are the Redskins the worst decline in sports history of any organization? Like, is this just the worst that we have seen? And I've seen some people agree, say yes, it is. And others commented, they mentioned the Knicks or they mentioned even the O's, the Baltimore Orioles. Listen, what we're seeing with the Redskins is a direct view of just what's going on in that organization as a whole. You can't have a winning culture and then come out the house and everything be immaculate. It's a mess, and it shows on the field. That is what we're seeing. That is the product of what is occurring internally. You know, Sherrod writes every week, and he talks about what the Skins need to do to win, and he mentions often, you know, about they needing to play angry, and they, you know, needing to play, you know, aggressively, and those things, and all those things are absolutely correct. But then we all sit and we watch the product, and they're not angry. It's like they're defeated. It's like they're sad. It's like they're defeated before they even have a shot. And for all of this, the culture is, you know, pretty good. No, it's not. And stop lying to people, by the way. You can't watch a product like this week in and week out and even believe that the culture is anywhere near good. It's a lie, flat out. The tickets should be free. The parking should be free, because it's not going to hurt anybody for it to be. It's not going to hurt anybody. Let me just say that. It's not. So why isn't it? Who knows? And we could continue to talk and have this conversation for days, hours. Believe it or not, they actually... I don't even feel like saying this. You might actually could still make the playoffs if you went out and everybody else lose, but we know that's not going to happen, right? So this week would be the week where they would, if they lost, they're officially out if they lose. Nonetheless, and we have to get ready to shut the show down because we're at our time for the week. Nonetheless, the organization has got to stop treating fans like they're stupid. And that's where, you know, even as being part of Redskins media, and proudly, I sit amongst some of the absolute best in the business. And we have to sit there and watch that game. But we also are not paying to sit and watch that game. And I don't care if it's $1 or $4, or if you one of the season ticket holders that have spent $400 per seat. The fans deserve more, period. You've got to stop treating these people like they're dumb and they're stupid. They're spending money. They've made an investment to enjoy their Sundays with you all, and this is how it gets spent. And they can't get that money back. I don't know what it's going to take to turn it around. I know what I think it's going to take, and again, that'll be a whole nother show for however many minutes and hours we talk about that. But something has to be done, because the Redskins have just about lost their fan base. I mean, people can love it all day long, and you love it, but they sick of it, and they have every single right to be sick of it. All right? It's going to take a lot of prayer, Joy. I don't know. But listen, thank y'all for joining us. Yay! We have made it. And see, the drag wasn't that bad. Listen, next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So we're not here. Coaching from the Couch, we're not here next Thursday. We want everybody to have a wonderful, amazing Thanksgiving, have a blessed time with their families. You guys, the CWall store, online store is open, and through Black Friday, shipping is free. So make sure you go online, get your CWall t-shirts, hoodie, travel mug, clear bag. All of those things are all out there, and through Black Friday, shipping is completely free, okay? So we won't see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving to you all, but we'll see you the week after that. Be blessed.
You're not on the field. you're not on the